to signing a contract of worth 15 million a season, around 300 grand a week, not as his base salary inclusive of bonuses. There's even talk in the chat about 120 million release clause. I can't confirm that. What do you lot make of him signing a new deal? Is there any concerns? Just what's your lot's thoughts on Saka potentially committing his future to the club?
Listen, I think for me, I don't see what the issue is. I thought there was a whole load of chat yesterday about does he deserve it? Is it too much? He's only 21
That's why I'm
years
asking
old.
you. Like, I'm not involved. I've offered all my thoughts.
Listen,
this is you to take the floor, man.
He's 21 years old. He's come from the academy. So no matter what, I don't feel like any other non-Arsenal fan should have any opinion on it, because you don't know what it means to support a team that has a player that is on this amount of money. So it's got nothing to do with them. In truth, you can look from the outside in and saying, oh, he's only 21 years old. But he's a made man. If we win the league this season, he's carried this team when Jesus has gone out.
Because he's flipping carrying us every day.
Listen, he was a free transfer. He came from the academy, and again, I don't look at him and think that he's going down. I only see a player that's going to go up, and he's going to grow into that Mane sort of Salah. Listen, I'm looking at Ribery kind of effect from someone like him. Bless you, bro. So for me, I'm happy with the money, man. And listen, I've said this, and I'll say it, and I'll say it over again. Football isn't about what you've done; it's about what you're gonna do, bro. If you believe this guy's gonna be worth that money, and he's gonna get us another league title, he's gonna get us to the Champions League and hopefully win it or whatever it is, that £300,000 is gonna look like peanuts.
And how much will it cost to replace him? Someone that's gonna do what he does today, not tomorrow, today.
The landscape of football. £300,000 in 4 years' time is going to be like nothing, because you have to think about where football's going and how much money is in football. So what Mo Salah is on, I believe they're on similar amounts of money or whatever it is. He's got a contract that was a season and a half ago, but if he was to get a new contract now, he would probably ask for 360, 370, because that's the way that football works. That's business. So listen, I'm very, very happy, man. Like, this isn't a Walcott thing. I know we've been stung by this before with the likes of Adebayors and Ozils and Alexis's and all of those people. But listen, I'm very, very happy that he's signing. He's an Arsenal boy. You can see that he wants to die for this club. He works hard for this club, and hopefully, it looks to be good. So whatever anyone wants to say about the fee, it is what it is, man. Like, we're good.
Listen, like,
his agent's playing a blinder.
I dread to think where this club would be without the emergence in the last 3 years of Bukayo Saka. Now, let's just go back to how that started, by the way, because
we had Emre times, left back, the trenches.
Yeah, he came through the trenches, right? So, 2-3 left backs get injured in one sitting. He gets brought in as a left back. No left back.
I didn't even believe he was a right winger. It's crazy.
Yeah, no left back, and for the rest of the season got their place back. Next season, he then finally gets a spot in the right wing position.
Let's not forget he had a stage playing centre mid as well. We've been everywhere, right wing back against England as well.
He starts getting picked for England. Apparently, he only gets picked for England because the player that I'm not going to name gets injured playing for England. He then goes to his first major international tournament, and he delivers, but he misses the penalty. He then comes back last season, has the best season of his career. In terms of output, at this point of the season, he's already bettered what he did last season.
It makes you look at him last year and think, how scary are you?
If people are talking about the money, what you've seen is a guy that he had to break through, play in a position that's not even his natural one. He's never lost his place since. He's then been picked for England. He's never lost his place at national level since. 21 years old, he's gone to 2 major international tournaments and performed at both of them. What more does he need to do?
And he's doing the business week in, week out for a young player. Again, Saka's not the most exciting player in terms of skill set, but I think that's all tosh. I think fans get lost with all of that. The man is competent, he's confident, and he's consistent. And what I like about Saka is, for me, the penny's dropped for him. He believes he's going to get into goal-scoring positions and bag. And I think he's gone from that young, early teenager, early 20-year-olds to, I'm playing with people that are playing on FIFA, to no, I am a Premier League footballer in my own right. Good or bad moments.
Do you know what?
I need to take it in my stride.
If you look at all of his goals as well, I think only 3 or 4 of his goals haven't been an equaliser or a match winner this season.
The man's a talisman.
Goal involvement. So he's turning up at big clutch moments. You look at all the big teams, his record against all the big teams.
United, Liverpool, Spurs, City last year. I don't think there's a big team he ain't bagged against.
You know what's scary about? You know what's scary?
In fact, let's not say
about Saka and Martin. You know what's scary about Saka and Martinelli is that because they're only 20, and even Saliba, because they're only 21, they ain't even got their men body yet. They ain't got their man body. When they start going gym and they get them, their legs become bigger and chunkier. They start to get that kind of Lampard, Gerrard, those big quads.
Even Martin Odegaard, 24.
But at 21, at 21,
the shot power gets better. They become stronger. They become that they can, they almost like they can have the same amount of skill, but they can maneuver on the pitch. They can last a bit longer.
But at 21, Martinelli, Saka, and Trossard in the month of March got 14 goal involvements. That's just sprinkled
the other guys involved as well.
A little bit of experience. You sprinkle that amongst these young players, bro, and look what it's doing. It's lighting them up, bro. Like, I mean, how can you say like a player that is performing to this exceptional level, like doesn't deserve everything that's like coming his way? Like,
would you not say he's world class?
I think he's having a world class. For no doubt, is the level he's been performing to this season. Like, I'm struggling. I don't think you can name more than one or two players in his position in the world that are on the same level as him at the moment. On the right hand side, I want someone to try and name three. They won't get past two at best. I don't think, man.
So you're saying he's having a world class season, not necessarily world class as a footballer yet.
I think what
are you saying into that as well? Because I just try to make sure we catch the specifics.
You know what? Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like, for me, I think it's very disingenuous to not say that he's world class, and I'll tell you the reason why. He's done it at two international tournaments. He's played against some of the top teams. Now, people are going to say he's not had the consistency in the Champions League. That's the only thing he's missing. Now, what people are saying right now is because he's not one. I feel like they're saying that because he's not completed this season, even though we've only got 10 games left, that he's not world class. I think that's just
he's in for a shout of player of the year / young player.
He did it last season. He's done it this season. He did it in the World Cup. He did it in the Euros. He's now the main man for England. Not Harry Kane, not Jack Grealish, nobody else. It is him. So for country, and club. When you think about now, the guy, he's come back. He's shown the world class mentality. He's come up from England and he's got better. Not like a Jadon Sancho. He's got better. You then think about, as Gunnar King said, what player is better than him in his position? What I don't like to do is compare him to the likes of Salah, because I don't think he should be, because not only is he very young, but he's not done enough he's not got the catalogue of those players. But you compare him to someone like Salah. Yes, Salah's got better numbers, but overall, Salah has to score the goals for Liverpool.
What was Salah doing at 21, bro? That's what you got to ask yourself. Well, like, you know what I mean? Like, respect to Mohamed Salah. I'm not out here to disrespect Salah, but what I'm saying is, like, at 21, he weren't doing this. Do you know what I mean? Like, at 21 years old, Saka is being spoken about as the benchmark, in world football for players in his position, like amongst one or two other players. That is how he's being talked about. And it's not just in the Prem. People in Spain, people in Germany, people in France, Italy, like, they're all saying the same thing, all over the world. People are saying, like...
Kim Kardashian don't know these other wingers. She knows him, though. Leave my guy alone, though. Keep him on the rack off, man.
And listen, in the beef there as well, bro, because what? He after he saw Kim K, he still won. So, listen, man, he's beating even the curses. So, for me, look, I think he is world class. I think there's no discussion needed. I think he deserves the money. I feel like he's done enough. He was great last season. He's now entering into a new stratosphere. But what I will say is there are real cases as to why people don't think he's not world class just yet. And I don't necessarily disagree with them. I don't. I heard a clip from Simon Jordan earlier on today.
We're not plugging them talk shite dons.
Fair point. I will say that, but it was.
They're just there for engagement.
He did make a good point. I will say that. So listen, man, listen. I think he's world class. I don't think that it's a thing where I can't say he's not world class yet. He's done it on the international stage. You can't tell me that because he's done it in Champions League that he's not world class when he's done it on the international stage twice. So, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I don't hold his lack of Champions League experience against him. I just want to see Like, I think the consistent level that he started hitting, like midway to 3/4 towards the end of last season and this season, I just need to see that continuity over like a season and a half period. Like, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the strides he's taken. I think if I isolate his performances of this season, it's been world class. Like, in a sense, for me, like if I'm saying someone is world class, they're like in the top 2, 3, like in their position in the world. Do you know what I mean? And he's been performing to that level. I just need that breadth of the work, like the consistency now. Like, and I think he'll get there. Like I think by the end of the season, like it's going to be difficult to deny it if he finishes on the sort of form he's been in throughout the season. But look, for me, he's like, he steps up, he takes responsibility, and because he is like, he's been at Arsenal since he's 8 years old. Like, he's like
Bukayo Saka, by the way.
That's it. Like, you know, like people come to the club now, the new players, and they're going to him as like the standard bearer. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is it to be an Arsenal player? What are our histories, our traditions? What's the philosophy? What's the ethos? What's the mindset of the club? Like, how does the manager want us to play? Like, you know, like everything that they would need to know. I think all the outsiders looking in at the moment, like even our biggest rivals, you know what I mean? I live in North London. I live a lot of Spurs fans.
Of his ability.
Spurs fans,
England teammates as well.
Spurs fans can't even hate him. I don't even meet Spurs fans that hate him like that. They're just like, you know what? Like,
all the allegations. He's a wavy footballer. I can't lie. You lot might hate me, but I don't think he's world class. You might hate me, but I don't think he's world class. And why
I think he's on that cusp, as I was saying. Yeah, like I just think
I don't even think he's on the cusp. I'll be real. You know, I think for those that misunderstand me, I think he's on an upward trajectory. I think he's ahead of where he should be at his age. I think he's having a great seasons. I think he's very close. He's scratching the surface. But for me, I think world class is thrown around way too early in this day and age for everybody, and it's just given to footballers too easily. That's nothing to do with Bukayo Saka. For me, I know it's a bit harsh, but historically, the world classes for me are a Thierry Henry, a Lionel Messi. And again, I don't want to use Messi or Ronaldo as examples because they've gone beyond that, but that is the world class. And Saka is moving towards that because for me to even consider this conversation, I need to have a degree of expectation. I am getting that with Saka. I don't think he's world class yet, but if he keeps doing this, he will be. He's a very, very, very good player. He's just outside the club. But for me, I don't think he's world class yet, and I don't think we should ban that on him. But he's not going to be able to get away with that or from it.
This is the only thing what I'll say in disagreement. And someone said this yesterday. I think you have different world class tiers for each era. So
see, for me, I'm not really on none of that. Like, I hear you with the everything, but like,
no, but
if you're world class player in 96, you're world class player today.
No, but what I will say to you is, I believe Saka could play in any era, but there are some players there are some players who have been world class for that era. But you think about, okay, look, let's think about this.
For me,
right?
when it starts getting into all of this, then
Hold on,
I hear you though.
Let me give it to you like this.
No, I'm with you, but that's why I have to question my own logic because I agree with you.
How many world class players? How many world class strikers are there right now? There aren't many.
There's none.
You're
Strikers are in the bin.
barrel. But if you think about in the 90s, you think about the early 2000s, there was Shevchenko's, there was bloody Henry's, Eto'o's, Drogba's. I could keep going on in the Italian league, full of it. So what I'm saying to you right now is, some people might say someone like Lukaku is world class, but we know that he would struggle, and he would struggle in many areas. But for this era, he might be classed. So sometimes I just think you have to look at the here and now. You can't keep comparing the different areas, because then you start to lose. Because you know what someone would say? Henry's not world class to the whole Johan Cruyff. That's what someone could say. Or they'll say that he's not. Do you see my whole point? So like, I just feel like
I get your point. For what it's worth, I agree with your logic. I just have to question my own, man. I just think world class is thrown around too often. I agree with your point, especially about this era, because on current form, there's very little right wingers / wingers, whether they play on the left or right, that can talk to him. Unless you're killing Mbappe at this moment in time, people of that ilk, maybe the Napoli brother, which Saka's been doing it longer, and it would be a great conversation to have. There's very few. I just think it's thrown around too often, and I think the more that Saka just keeps playing like this, the more it's a conversation. I think he's very, very, very good. I think he's on that trajectory. I think he's just on the cusp of being outside. Or he's just outside of. He's on the cusp, but I just need it to continue really and truly. That's just me, and I just think this world class thing is thrown around. I don't think it helps Saka, but as I said, it's not gonna. Saka can't escape it, bro. Like the more you keep, everything that you're getting in terms of the money we're talking about, potential release clause, it's because you're doing the business on the field. And what I like about Saka in a comparison to other youngsters, like I'm a big fan of Jadon Sancho, for example. But them man are not doing it. Like they're not doing it. They've got, like, this is what I mean. And it's not an attack on Sancho, because I want him to play well as much as I can for United player. I think all these players got these fancy skills and all these things, but their decision making, their competencies, their confidence in front of goal, damn right, their consistency across a course of a season, it's not there. So Saka has a strong debate of being that. But for me, I don't think he's there yet.
It's the mental resilience of the guy as well, though.
Mental resilience.
What he went through with the Euros, like the blowback
Shout
from
out
that.
to Rashford on that as well. Bounce back